Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Leslie Tucker, and today I am making a video based on requests. I put out a message on Instagram asking resellers if they had any questions about things, anything particular in their business they wanted to know, and I had several responses, which is wonderful. So today I am going to just give some tips and tricks about becoming a full-time reseller. I'm a full-time reseller on the Poshmark app, Depop, Macari, Vinted. I used to sell on eBay, but I just closed both my eBay stores. That's a story for another time. So let's get started with the video. Okay, I'm going to be looking down because I have some notes, because, you know, I'm almost 50 and I don't want to forget some things. And so get started. I already introduced myself. My name is Leslie Tucker. I am originally from Philly. I live in Delaware. University of Delaware is up the street from my house. I am a mother, a wife, and a grandmother. I have one granddaughter. We have a blended family of 10. For years, I was in food service. When I was in Philadelphia, I worked at several cafes as a professional baker. When I moved to Delaware, I could not find a baking position, so I just became a cook at a nursery school, and then I started working for the local school district as a lunch lady. And the last 2 years that I worked, I was a supervisor in a high school cafeteria. Real quick about my history in reselling. I have been a reseller for 2 years. I originally started selling as a hobby on Poshmark, and again, it was just a hobby. My husband's been selling on eBay and Amazon for years, and I just wanted to do something to make a little extra money, so he would bring me some things and I would just toss them on Poshmark, take a picture from the app and put it on there, and if it sold, it sold. Because I had a job, I wasn't really interested in taking it seriously. If I sold some things just to make a little extra money transferred into my bank account, I was happy about that. Fast forward to April of 2018, I became stressed working in a high school. There was always fights. There was a lot of different things going on, co-workers, and I was almost 49 years old and I was just tired of working. So I sat down with my husband and I just propositioned and said to him if it would be okay, would I be able to, if I pushed my business forward, Poshmark, and at the time really selling on eBay, if I could do really well with those, would he have a problem with me leaving my job and working full-time? And he said absolutely, he would not have any problems with that, that he felt that I was ready to do it. So this is my story. In April of 2018, I made a decision to work from home full-time. I sat down and came up with a plan. Because I was a lunch lady, I would have the summer off. So from April to June, I would work after work into the late hours, just sourcing, listing, steaming, cleaning, the descriptions, the whole inventory, the whole deal. June 2018, once school was over for the summer, I worked all summer hard. So hard that I gained like 30 pounds. Didn't hit the gym, didn't do a lot. I wanted to be committed. In the meantime, I was setting up account savings and different things that would prepare me to be set just in case there was an emergency or something like that. So in June, my numbers started rising. July, my numbers started rising. By the end of July, I had gotten my eBay and my Poshmark up, the numbers high enough that effective August, literally 3 days before I was due back to work, I sent in my letter of resignation, and that was August 17, 2018, and I've been a full-time seller ever since. So I wanted to just give a couple tips of things that you could do. Okay, bear with me. This is just my third video. I'm having a lot of fun. If you have any ideas in the future of anything you want to see, just let me know. Again, I'm looking down because I'm looking at notes. Okay, and title, if you're considering becoming a reseller, full-time reseller. And keep in mind, there's such a difference between having a hobby and working part-time. this is going to become your full-time job. If you work hard on your job, you should work harder in your business. You're going to really be putting in some hours. I'm just going to go down. Tip number one, think about it really seriously. Take several weeks, couple months, and think about what you would be giving up if you decide to become a reseller, and think about why you want to become a reseller. What does it mean to you to become a reseller? To have the freedom to work on your own, work from home, be with your children during the day if that is your desire. But really think about it. And that leads me into tip number two. Once you think about it on your own, like, don't even ask anybody their advice at the time. Just think on your own about what you want to do. Don't go telling friends. Really consider it for yourself. Then after you've made the decision, then you want to discuss it with your support system. And that includes your spouse, your partner, your children, whoever is important and whoever is going to be important in the decision, the financial part of it. Those are the people who are important. I'm not talking about people outside of your home who don't contribute financially. Just talk to your family, talk about what it would mean to you and to them for you to become a reseller. And then plan your decision based on the outcome of the conversations. Do they want you to do it? Will it help you? Are you stressed out? Are you having health problems? Is this a decision you've been wanting to make for years? Come to them and just discuss it and decide together. 3, come up with a timeline to start. When I got started, again, like I said, mine happened really fast because I have my children are older, so I don't have to worry about daycare or anything like that. From April to August, that was my timeline. So come up with a timeline, and then once you come up with a timeline, when you want to start thinking about some other things. Once you decide your timeline, create a plan. I would suggest putting aside some money, maybe opening up a new bank account, maybe open up 2 bank accounts. To give you an example, I opened up 2 additional bank accounts, and I also started an IRA. The one bank account is strictly for reselling. All my reselling money goes in there, and then I spend from there as well. And then I started a savings. The number that I came up with was really just having like $1,000 of emergency money that I can tap into this just in case something happens. So I would suggest doing that for yourself, because anything can happen. Remember, you're leaving your job, so you're losing an income that you're used to having, and your reselling business, your full-time business, may not take off as fast as you like. So you need to have some funds to fall back on, because you still have to help pay bills, daycare, or whatever, groceries, whatever it is that you need to take care in your household. So keep that in mind. Consider starting an additional bank account and having some money. Don't just leave your job hoping that, because you're doing well part-time. It's a difference, again, between part-time and full-time. So make sure you have a little bit of a cushion to get you going. I had a 3-month cushion, so if something happened, I had 3 months that I could survive off of. Decide what you want to sell. Right now, if you're part-time and it's a hobby, you're probably just buying some stuff and you're making a little bit money. I would probably suggest looking at some YouTube videos. Empty Hanger's good, Nicole State, so many other people, but I really like Empty Hanger. Jenna, I get a lot of ideas from her, but find somebody that you can relate to find out what things are on trend. Look at magazines and things like that. And also think about what is available in your stores. I'm in a college town, so there's not like a whole lot, so I have to really be particular about my sourcing and what I can find. I do really well. I go based on the Q factor. I don't go really based on name brands, and if I find name brands, I'm really happy with that. But you have to find what works for you in your area. And considering, traveling out, I sometimes go once a month, because my husband's a reseller and he's retired. We take a breakfast trip, a lunch trip once or twice a month, and we'll go into Philly, or we'll go into Maryland, or we'll go into New Jersey. Anytime I travel, I go to a new thrift store. I always plan my thrift stores around my vacation. I just went to my son's graduation from boot camp, Army boot camp, in November, and we were in Columbia, South Carolina, and my daughter and my husband also sell in Poshmark, so we planned a trip. We planned that around, and we were able to hit 5 local thrift stores and get some really good items for sourcing while we were there. So just think about what you want to sell and how you will source. Come up with a daily schedule, keep you on track. You are working from home. Some days you may just be chill. Like I'm chill a lot. My office, I could probably do another video another time. My office, I have a TV in front of me. My laptop is right here. I'm sitting on some comfortable chairs. Everything's in here that I need. I take pictures downstairs. And a lot of times I do sit in my pajamas and work, but I do get dressed and I have a day and I work. I don't just kind of chill. So you have to really kind of train yourself to work from home, because it's going to be a little bit more harder than it was when you were part-time, especially if you have children or you have aging parents or whoever, whatever your reasoning is for doing this, you're going to have to get creative in your time. So I would suggest, I have a calendar and I work Monday is kind of like my half day, because I do a lot of my work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or for the likers and different things like that. Tuesday and Thursday are my sourcing days. I go to the retail stores on Tuesdays because they have a lot of $2 Tuesdays. And on Thursdays, I will do the bins every now and then. Not as much, because my local bins, I don't like them, and I do travel far for the bins that I like a lot. So you have to find out what works for you and create a schedule that'll work for you. And then once you've figured those things out, just get to work, get to working. You know, if you're doing this part-time, double what you're doing, triple what you're doing, quadruple what you're doing, and really just be serious about it. And one of the things that I would also suggest is when you're home, to make friends. And you already have like wonderful friends, you probably do, wonderful family, but I would suggest doing is building some new friends through the reseller community, or people who work from home and can relate and understand what you're doing. Because it's just like having a single friend and you're married and you can't relate as much as you used to, or now you have a friend who's married and you have a baby and you can't relate. So it's kind of the same thing. You've birthed something new, and you're going to need some people to support you in that endeavor. And the last few things, some things to consider. You're probably going to be working longer hours than you did in your job. You may not. I work longer hours. I get up. Sometimes my daughter, her alarm goes off at 6. She has to be on the bus at 6:50. I'll come right into my office and get going. Some days after I make sure she's up and out the door, I'll lay down and sleep till 10. But I'm never in the bed before 1 o'clock in the morning. That's just my schedule, because I'm listing, I'm steaming. I like to participate in all the parties. I always make sales. So that's the cool thing. I'm home all day. So if it's a party I can participate in, I'll participate, and I share my closet at least 3 to 5 times a day. And I have over 1,400 items available. And this is Poshmark. You might get less sleep. That's one of the things, especially if you have children. Now you're full-time and you have children. You might have a decline in income. Remember, you had a full-time income. Now your income might decline until your business builds up to where you need it to be. Don't worry, don't stress. This is just one of the things to consider that could happen. Your friends and family may not understand what you're doing. And that's not the inside family that you've already discussed this with. This is the outside support system. Your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your friends. They may not understand. Like, what do you mean you're selling on Poshmark? What do you mean you're going to the thrift store and you're getting some used clothes? So you just have to just kind of take that in stride. And however you decide to respond to that is up to you. I don't really get into it. I'm like, I resell. That's it. I've always had a business. Like, I have a crochet design business. So when I was at work, you know, I had a website, and my coworkers didn't understand. What do you mean you're making hats and selling them? I'm like, yeah, I do really well, you know. So my arthritis got the best of me. So I kind of toned that down a little bit, especially when they were cat hats. I was just, for the Women's March, I was doing so crazy last year. So your friends are going to be looking at you going like, you're reselling. What? You're going to the thrift store and you're taking used clothes. And again, just decide what you want to say and how you want to respond. You can, you don't have to. It's up to you. And just be creative, you know, in that. Don't get frustrated. You might, it's hard for me to tell you that, but make sure you have somebody you can vent to. That's why the reseller community is very important. Vent, not complaining. Try not to put too much stuff out on social media. Maybe find some friends that are locally, again, that you can, you know, have lunch or coffee with every now and then and just get together and vent. My husband's the best. I can vent to him about anything, and I don't have to put it on social media, and my customers don't see it, and other resellers don't, you know, hear the things that bother me. And remember, you're not alone. There's a big reseller community out there that can help you. You know, make some friends, send some DMs. You can contact me anytime you want to. I have no problem with that. And last but not least, take care of yourself. You know, work out, take a walk, go to lunch, again, with your reseller community. I have friends, and the best thing is my best friend who I live with, my husband, and we, again, we do breakfast probably once a week, and we try to have date night, and we have lunch, and just, you know, I could take, he works, he's a retired firefighter, so he's eBay community, and he does flea markets and different things like that, and I can, if I have a problem, or if I'm just feel like, you know, having a cuddle or whatever, I can go downstairs and talk to him for a few minutes, and I'm good, and then I come back. So just take care of yourself, and celebrate your successes and your failures, because once you fail, you won't make that mistake again. You know, find something to correct it, and then just start all over and get back onto it. And just remember, don't give up. You got this. And that's basically it. If you have any questions, sorry if it was fast or it was crazy. I'm looking for my little clicker thing. Fast or crazy. I'm not a professional when it comes to the videos, but I'm enjoying doing them. If you enjoy seeing these, please subscribe. Leave me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Any other videos you would like to see. I'm going to leave the link to all my closet, and my Macari and Depop, and my Instagram, and I would love to hear from you. I will answer all comments, and thank you for watching. Take care. You got this. You got it.